and welcome back to the WHHI Daily News. With me now is a member of the Town of Hilton Head team, executive team, and she is Shari Mendrick. She is the Floodplain Administrator. So I didn't realize that there was a floodplain administrator, but obviously very important because we are an island. Mm-hmm. So welcome to our newscast, and let's just jump right in. What is the role of the administrator for the floodplains?
As a floodplain administrator for the Town of Hilton Head Island, I actually administered two separate programs. The first one is the National Flood Insurance Program, which provides all of our citizens the opportunity to purchase flood insurance. Okay. I also administer what's called the Community Rating System, which is a bonus point system where we do additional outreach, like me talking to you today, and talking to our citizens, our higher standards. We have some higher building standards and other things that the town does to get extra credit, which actually gives our citizens a 25% discount on their flood insurance premium.
Okay, now you came right before Irma, after Matthew, and you said that Matthew was more wind, Irma was more flooding.
Yes.
So my question is, what is the risk of Hilton Head being flooded?
Well, Hilton Head is a barrier island. Right. And I know that sounds very silly, but I do have to remind especially new residents of that all the time, that you have to drive over a bridge to get here. Yeah. We are surrounded by water. So at any point in time when there is a tropical system coupled with a high tide event, we are at risk of flooding. We are at risk of flooding even if there's not a high tide event. Right. So we just have to be very careful when a tropical system comes in that we're prepared for that.
And heavy rain too. I mean, it might not even be a tropical system, but if we just had, let's say we had a deluge of rain day after day, obviously flooding.
Yes, right. That will happen, and it actually happened a couple weeks ago where it rained. We have very heavy what's called a flash flood in the morning, and it caused a lot of streets. Luckily, we didn't have any structures, but a lot of our streets were inundated with water. You just had to be very careful.
Okay, so do we have to have flood insurance? And if we do, why?
Flood insurance is very important. Most homeowners' policies do not cover damage from flooding. So because we participate in that National Flood Insurance Program and we've adopted minimum FEMA standards, all of our residents are available, or flood insurance is available for all of our residents to purchase. It is very, very important because, like I mentioned, we are a barrier island.
And so what helpful tips can you share for people to be prepared for possible flooding?
Yes. So the best way to prepare for flooding, of course, is when you're planning your home, if you're building a new home, please elevate your home. We do have regulations that do require that. But in other circumstances, if somebody buys an older home, I can actually go out to their home and give them pointers and tips on how to protect their home and protect their property. Flood insurance, once again, is a way for people to protect themselves. Always be prepared to know what's coming. Watch the news. Watch our emergency manager and our emergency management information, and be aware of what's coming at you and evacuate if necessary.
Right. And another question, what is required of homeowners in flood hazard areas or high-risk areas? What is required of them?
Well, if you are mapped in a high-risk zone, according to the
there are different zones.
So low and moderate risk zones are X and shaded X, and the zones AE and VE are the high-risk and the coastal high-hazard zones.
Okay.
And in those two zones, the AE and VE, residents, if they have a mortgage on their property, are federally required to carry flood insurance.
I see. All right, any other information you want to share, or where we can go get more information about flooding and about flood insurance and all of that?
Absolutely. I love to talk to citizens, and that's part of my job. So the best thing to do is to call or email me. We do have a lot of information on our website that is available to our citizens. And if anybody wants me to come to their property and take a look, I'd be more than happy to set up an appointment.
Great. Or a member of your team. I'm assuming you have a staff.
It's just me.
Oh,
yes, it's just me. But yes, we are available to come and do that for our citizens.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Shari Mendrick, who is the Floodplain Administrator for the Town of Hilton Head. And that's it for this edition of the WHHI Daily News. I'm Robyn Zimmerman, and thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and healthy, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.